Hi, in today's industry talk, we have Sumiran Khosh from Everest Industries. Can you
Fantastic.
please talk about your presence here in Roof India Expo?
Okay, so it's been my first day today at RoofX exhibition. I will say the stall done and the organizing team has done a good job.
Sir, Everest is one of the established brand in this segment.
Yeah.
Can you please brief us about the success story of Everest?
I'm very proud to say that it's a 90-year-old organization. And how many companies can say that? You know, in another 10 years, we will be a 100-year-old company. So, Everest, as an organization, we were established in 1934. And originally, we were owned by the Tatas. And in the mid 1980s, Mr. Narottam Seksaria, who was the chairman and owner of Ambuja Cement, he took the company over, and ever since then it has been under with him. So Everest as an organization has seen, most of the industrial revolution, product changes. It is so relevant today. We are catering to the building material industry. So we have three businesses, mainly the roofing business, which is the oldest business that we have. We have a boards and panels business, and we have a steel building solution business, which is catering to the industrial markets largely.
When we talk about roofing business particularly, what kind of significant changes are visible in last one decade?
Significantly in the last one decade, good question, because I started my career in PEB also little more than a decade. So I see the market has evolved a lot. What it was 10 years back to what it is today. And the specification of the material has improved. The requirement for better products has evolved. Lot of companies have invested lot of time in R&D to improve their product lines, to meet the criteria which are specified by consultants, and the industry has evolved significantly. So for example, the steel industry that we used to cater 10 years back, it used to be roughly 1,000 tons order, which used to be a big order. But today, 1,000 metric ton order or a 1 lakh square feet order is a very small order. Earlier, 10 years back, these were the same big orders. Okay, so the industry has evolved significantly. So has the customer expectation. The same customer who we used to cater 10 years back, let's say in a 6 months time frame from start to completion for a 1,000 metric ton order, expects that a similar project of 10,000 metric ton today is completed in 6 months time. So that is the expectation of market also and customer also. And for that, I think that is the only challenge. I think how we can equip ourselves, how we can improvise ourselves, how we can give better deliverables and service to the clients. I think that is the success mantra, which which will actually, pave path for the growth story of any company,
And I'm sure you also bought a lot of new products in this time, in
Yeah.
last 10 years.
Yeah.
And when, like what you are discussing about the challenges, when you take up any projects, because you do projects in various capacities.
Yeah.
And when you take up these projects, majorly one of the significant factor will be the costing.
Yeah.
And another will be the time deadline.
Correct.
How do you optimize both?
So very good question. I think because these are all large capex projects where the capex is very highly involved, the success of winning a project or securing a project, I think largely defines by engineering strength. So the better engineering, the better understanding of the project, of the customer requirement, will help us to understand what exactly the customer needs. So it always starts from basics. Finally, I'm of the opinion that if we follow the basics, that is understanding the client requirement properly, offering the right solution, evaluation of the right proposals, brainstorming with the consultant and customers, and then submitting a best value proposal through, of course, a value chain created by the procurement team, installation department, and then meeting the right requirement from a timeline point of view. I think these are the success mantras. Now, no matter you win a project, but if you're not able to deliver on time, it is a loss to company. But if you're able to deliver on time, at the same time you have planned well, I think planning is the key. So even if you are winning a project, it doesn't mean that you're going to be profitable. So successful completion of the project on time is actually going to define whether you are profitable or not, or whether you are credible or not. I think this is most important because it's a service-based industry, right? So our commitment also has to be good, and the seriousness involved in terms of start to finish from all stakeholders is very, very crucial. So efficient utilization of resources, your planning has to be superb. Client requirements will keep changing, so a little bit of flexibility is required there. I think all agencies have to work together. This is a classic example where multiple functions, including not Everest alone, other departments like civil agency, we all have to work in tandem so that we can finally deliver a good project to the client.
Considering the aesthetic aspect,
Yeah.
looking at the architectural projects,
Yeah.
why India is taking so much of time delaying to observe steel building ideas into aesthetic projects?
Good point. Yeah. So, see, countries which are evolved, like, when we talk about US, most of the buildings today are done in steel, including residential. In India, however, that is yet to be seen. Now we see a bit of commercial establishments which are, getting done in steel, but that's still a long way to go. I think it's a mindset issue, largely to do with mindset issue where customers or builders or real estate developers are reluctant to try steel over cement because they have been doing something for a very long time. However, I think steel has its own advantages. From a point of view of faster construction, I think steel has got the biggest advantage that you can quickly construct the job. Let's take a classic example of, Tata Motors. They were to initially do their factory in West Bengal, and then the material had been supplied, and then there was an issue. So all they had to do was take out the material, shift in a truck, and put it out. So the investment, whatever was made, the loss was little, right? So I think these are the certain advantages, and which builders are thinking now. But I think the consultant fraternity is still reluctant to move from conventional RCC to steel. But you see most of the airports, they're all in steel. You see most of the high-rise commercials today in the country, they're moving into steel. The industry has moved into steel. So it's only a matter of time that, things are moving. Good part is I see that the government is pushing a lot of FDI, Make in India movement, because of which there are a lot of multinational companies who are coming to India and investing. And they only are going with pre-engineered buildings, right? So the industry is growing significantly, and it's a growth which is growing to the tune of 9 to 10% year on year. So that's a massive growth, and that's a massive future. So even if the residential segment or the commercial segment in buildings, RCC buildings are not catering to, still there is ample opportunities in the industrial segment.
When it comes to sustainability drive in construction,
Yeah.
how do you see that this is leveraging use of steel in this
Of course, because you see, when you use steel, you are reducing the carbon footprint. Then there are certain guidelines created by IGBC, which speaks about platinum rating, silver rating, gold rating. That talks about that your factory or establishment from the material needs to be supplied should not be more than a certain radius in kilometers. So this is all because of carbon footprint. Secondly, talking from a sustainable point of view, a lot of products that are used, okay, which is in consultation with the consultant and the architect, are specified such that the buildings can cater to a platinum rating. We are doing multiple projects in the country where the buildings are being opted, the same buildings are being opted for platinum rating, for which lot of products, specific products are being used, and they are there in the industry. So the specification is there in place. A lot of customers opt for it, and there is a guideline attached to it.
You invest a lot into branding exercises.
Yeah.
And in my experience, you are one of the, front runner in creating these engineering solutions as a packaged brand.
Okay.
So what kind of thoughts and philosophy runs behind it?
Today, the social media or the digital media is so relevant that for an organization to survive and hit the masses, you can't avoid the scope of a social media or a digital media campaign. They are so sensitive also, right? So let's say, for example, the power of a social media is such that one wrong message can even kill the brand image of an organization, and one good message can create multiple leads for that same organization, right? So I think the sensitivity to social media is very high. That is one reason why that's used as a platform today by most of the organizations to market themselves. Second, I think it's very relevant because you can hit the masses faster. You can meet your target audience quicker if you are investing in these channels. Earlier, we used to go door to door, give a brochure, but the reach time used to be very high. Today, with the use of technology and the aid of technology, we can use such platforms to reach to the masses at a smallest amount of time, right? I think that understanding is there with every company. It's not just Everest, right?
So what is new coming from Everest?
So let me tell you not about new coming. We have a lot of things working in the R&D that I can't talk about right now. We are doing some fantastic projects. Uh, to name a few, with the Tata Group, we have been associated for quite some time. I myself was involved in a project called Tata Advance in Hyderabad. Currently, we are executing in the last leg for a project of Tata Power Solar in Tirunelveli. It's a mega project. Then we have recently acquired a project for Tata Micron for the semiconductor business in Gujarat. Apart from that, we are working with Asian Paints in Mysore. We are working with Grasim Paints. So we are trying to now work with companies where service is of importance, where we can deliver better quality, better service, and we can work with them on a continual basis. So this is the intention. We are trying to deliver service, and I still feel there are a lot of challenges involved in the industry in terms of the planning, the material. But I think if the commitment is there, if the plannings are there, if the basics are there in place, still we are able to do better.
So this is what Sumiran first want to talk about Everest Industries and how they are redefining the industrial landscape, especially when it comes to steel buildings for corporates. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Prasad. Nice talking to you.